Hello, friends! Welcome back, and thank you for joining us here today for episode 5 of A Detoured Path, where we firmly believe that sometimes the only thing we all really need in life is just a little reroute. My name is Chelsea Marie Mauger, and I'll be your host here today and every day on A Detoured Path. So to all our new and returning listeners out there, if you're finding yourself in need of a little reroute, are already meandering down that unforeseen pathway in life, whether by choice or because you just got blindsided, or just interested in possibly thinking about things a little bit differently, this could be the show for you. We will be sharing personal accounts, stories, and a variety of perspectives in order to help us all gain a greater sense of community and connectivity in this little thing we call life. Just a little disclaimer before we begin. Though we do try to keep a mostly G and or PG rating here at A Detoured Path, we are discussing life, and life is not always G or PG rated. That's just something to keep in mind in case you are listening with any little itty-bitty tater tots present. Chelsea, tell me a story. Sometimes I think life is an illusion. We see what we want to see. And sometimes we see what isn't even really there to begin with. Today, I made a powerful decision. I decided to write down what I saw in a vision. Things don't make sense, but I know there's a mission. Why waste time giving into self-doubt's indecision? So, I put myself in a place of remission and weed out any unnecessary additions. Sometimes we just have to listen to the future beholden for our path and our vision. The other night, I decided to take the train home from work, which was very atypical for my usual fast-paced, over an hour walk home commute. I thought, it's later, it's getting darker, better to take the train home. It's a good time to stock up on groceries. The perfect time to get any and all things you never really want to actually lug home, but do anyway on the vehicle that is your body. Excellent. Perfect, she said. I buy the goods. I buy all the goods. Everything that comes in a can, I buy. Everything comes in glass jars, I buy. Everything that is oversized, awkward, and hard to carry, yes, I buy. I even have to put back the package of toilet paper, 6 rolls, I might add, I was going to get because I even had too much for me. For the, if I will will myself to be able to carry it, I will carry it type of individual that I am. Post-checkout, and very proud of the happy medium I was able to achieve between necessities, possible necessities, and sheer stocking up, in conjunction with the maximum amount I could comfortably carry without falling over, I made my way to the train station, double-bagged groceries customer that I am in hand. Once upon the train, and ever so closely nearing my intended stop, the magical voice recording that is that of the imaginary train conductor lays down the vocal grenade that the next 4 stops will be skipped due to track construction. It is at this very moment that my memory starts scanning and rescanning the contents of my grocery bags, trying to remember if and when higher powers suggested that I refrain from any and all purchases because she saw this coming. Think. Chelsea. Think. The tug of war that pulls on me, the left, the right that strains from thee, can't decipher what you mean. Is it red or is it green? Make up your mind. I know it's hard. Guess what? I pulled the human card. Tough luck. Yes, I know. You're going to have to take it slow. Left ear for yes and right for no. Red for stop, green for go. Just like a car that is brand new, there's learning that we'll have to do. Gears the same across the board. I'm not a Chevy or a Ford. Where is the book you put with clues? I don't know. I am confused. Speak up, please. It's hard to hear. Is that you? I feel your steer. Your guide and lean have pushed me forth. My compass says that this is north. I stand, look up, don't face defeat, because we're finally meant to meet. This is great! We're finally here! I won't choke now. Instead, I'll cheer. Great! I said to myself, absolutely perfect. Because even if I did ignore my inner wisdom, I already am on a trajectory that is going to put me in exactly the right place, in exactly the right space, in exactly the right moment in time, and all I have to do is go along for the ride. That is amazing. So, I let a higher version of my current self take the wheel and tell me, that's okay. It's okay. It is okay that your stop on the train will be skipped. It's okay if you walk a little bit longer than you originally intended. Maybe you're supposed to see something, or say something, or smell something. Maybe you're supposed to be of service. So, I get off the train and begin to make my way towards the platform exit. Just a few steps into my line of traffic, the girl in front of me, her bags break because the water in them has sputtered open and ruined her paper bags full of groceries. The compulsive OCD don't you dare not double bag my groceries person that I am was able to shift the rate around in my haul so that I could give her one of mine. This was immediate confirmation of maybe you will be of service. Still, the everything happens for a reason mentality I tend to live my life by didn't seem to be satisfied with this being the only purpose on the whole grander, we're all connective life scale of the train being rerouted. There most surely had to be more. Maybe I'm supposed to see something. Being that the train stop was my point A and my apartment was the point B, there are not astronomically unlimited amounts of options and ways of getting home. It's not like I'm going to start jumping fences or anything, but there are quite a few ways to get home. It just depends on how or what may stand in my way. Be it a traffic light, a person walking their dog, I don't think I want to walk by that sketchy person. Their external behavior seems a little bit off, etc. So, on this day, I followed a path. Some was of my own choosing and some was not, although the argument could be made either way that it was actually all of my choosing or none of my choosing. ... until I was led as far as I could possibly go before having to cross the street again due to my pathway being closed off for construction. I knew I would eventually have to cross because I could see the sign through the trees in the distance. My thoughts literally were as follows. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like crossing the street. I don't want to. I don't want to cross the street, which I'm sure were followed by looks of, ugh, how annoying, and how dare you, written all over the scrunched up expressions on my face. So, ... I continued on my journey as far as I could possibly go to the very bitter end of where the road would let me go until I literally, I kid you not, was stopped in my tracks by a full-on, full-size, standing in mid-oration statue of Jesus. Thank you so much for your time and attention this far. We are just going to take a brief moment to recognize today's sponsor, Anchor, for providing a free platform for people like myself to get their podcast off the ground. With little to no previous technical know-how, Anchor makes the whole process pretty straightforward. Go to anchor.fm, that's ANCHOR.FM, or download the free Anchor app today to get started. With just a click of a button, you too can be heard on multiple platforms. Yes, I was literally stopped in my tracks by Jesus. How many people can say that? At least how many people can say that in this lifetime? And then I said to myself, okay, higher power, I see you. You have made yourself abundantly clear. Now what? What would you like me to do? No, literally. What would you like me to do? What are you trying to tell me? I stood there. I stood there staring. I stood there staring for quite a bit, waiting, just waiting, giving the universe a beat, some time, just in case something magical or spontaneous was supposed to happen. I felt confused, like when a little puppy dog looks up at its master, head and ears cocked, curious but having pretty much no general clue, grasp, or understanding for what is being said or spoken down to him. So I came home and just let it sink in and begun to wonder how many or how few people had had a similar experience, and if they did, if they had a similar reaction. The next day, I decided to look back over some things that had already been written by some or some better version of myself. And this is what I found. I tipped my head and came to you. Now I ask, what do I do? It's time to let the good things in. My spirit asked, where have you been? I didn't have an answer yet. I didn't even know we'd met. I came, I saw, I forged ahead. I tried to listen when you said, all good starts within your head. Well, had I been, was I previously writing down the future or parts of the future before it had even happened yet? And did I even know what I was saying, or was I just saying it because it was traveling through me or being made to travel through me? I'll draw you in. You're almost near. What stops begins with all the fear. Loosen ends to live without. Open screams. Learn to shout. Invited wisdom. Always there. When you learn, it's time to care. Judgment now has gone away. It's time for inner you to stay. Wait a second. Are you trying to tell me to get out of the way? Am I in the way? The busy bee, she works so hard. She's working for her human card. No time for rest. She does her best. Morning's dawn to evening's crest. Building up her wants and needs, aiming towards her inner creed. Filling up her cup today, reminding self she is okay. Oh my gosh, am I the busy bee? She sheds her skin so she can grow. Holding on, the answer's no. Leaving good things in the past, soon better things, ones that last. You never know what lies ahead. Questions answered, soon they're read. About time you learn to fly. A good decision, no need for why. Always on the up and up, time to fill your spirit cup. On those days when you are sad, Spirit's here to make you glad. She'll redirect you on your course, sometimes neat, and some by force. Never seen, but always heard, her voice will come. It is the word. Whoa. The little bird, she came to be, living in prosperity. How far she'd come, the vast was high, her reach was higher than the sky. The peace she felt was intertwined with the magic of her mind. What once was lost now was found. Her heart could lift up off the ground. Nothing lost can ever be, truly yours, eternally. She said her thanks and raised her head. Now she could begin again. Elation and elevation, all on the path of most allowance. I came, I saw, I come to you. I tried to tell you what to do. You think I'm mean, you push me out. You fight and scream and kick and shout. You think so hard, you count to 10. You try to hear, remember when? If fighting's not the thing to do, maybe I can count on you. Working for a joint decision, repression is now in remission. Backstabbing now is in the past. Collaborating, working fast, catching on and growing large. Learning when you're not in charge. Better days and ways ahead. Best to leave some things unsaid. Listen first, acknowledge wins. Encouragement wins in the end. Nothing done by push or force is welcome kindly. You're not a horse. Finding honor in the day, when you can, sit down and pray. Happiness is here for you. Breathe in, breathe out. That's what you'll do. Remember, all the kind inside must be shared. Do not hide. One is singular and just a bit. You must be a part of it. No mountain is too hard at all when we aren't afraid to fall. Climb your ladder, speak your truth. By being still, you've gained your proof. Oh my goodness. Shapeless and mobile and free where I bend. No direction, no borders, no beginning or end. I move through thin air, I haven't been seen. No one can find me, they don't know where I've been. Influence is real, do not misuse. No time for judgment, do not abuse. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget that a lot. Sometimes we can forget that faith, fate, and higher power are all around us. If we were to watch clouds for any length of time, we would see that they began as one form, move and meld into another, and then another, and then another, until they eventually thin, spread out, and disperse into the air. But they haven't really left. They are still there. They are all around us. A spiritual clearing is nearing without anger or fearing. It's time for the raising. Bring it up. It's clearing. We are hearing, a rearing. Events will be mirroring. It's best to remain in this place of unfearing, for the clearing is nearing and requires our hearing. So keep steering. We are nearing the guidance and clearing. You are mirroring the nearing with your spirit and your clearing. What are we mirroring? And what are we all mirroring? What will we all be mirroring today? What are you mirroring? And friends, I believe that is all we have time for today. Feel free to leave a comment or message by clicking on that message button located on your screen. Leave a review and/or rating if you liked what you heard, and hit subscribe to get all the latest updates and podcast information. If you'd like to help support A Detoured Path, hit that support button, and your generous contributions will help to continue the workflow, volume, and frequency of A Detoured Path so that we can continue to flood your airways on a more regular basis. In the meantime, if you're looking for more thoughts, stories, and insights while you're waiting for the next episode of A Detoured Path to come out, you can find the book Short Girl Diaries, Unedited and Grammatically Incorrect by Chelsea Marie Mauger. Last name is spelled capital M-A-U-G as in good, E-R as in red, which is available on Amazon in both print and Kindle formats, as well as through the Kindle Unlimited program, where you can read pages for free. You can also come find me on Instagram at Chelsea Marie Mauger, all one word, CHELSEAMARIE-MAUGER. I'm rather new to the Instagram party, so new friends and acquaintances are always welcome. Drop by and say hello. Say the podcast sent you. So, until next time, my name is Chelsea Marie Mauger, and you've been listening to A Detoured Path, where we firmly believe that sometimes the only thing we all really need in life is just a little reroute.